Hello, good morning, students. This is chapter 7 Fertilization in Plants. So, these are the learning objectives you can see double fertilization, under which we are going to read about triple fusion result. The next is fruits and parts of fruits, under which we are going to read about true, false, and parthenocarpic fruits. Seeds, significance of fruits, and significance of seeds. The picture you are seeing here is about the mature ovule. And in the mature ovule, there is an embryo sac which plays a very important role for further development. As you know, that mature ovule is a part of female reproductive organ, and here that you can see one part at the micropilar end that is the male part, or which we can say that pollen tube. Pollen tube has two types of nucleus. First one is tube nucleus and the second one is generative nucleus. When it meets with it enters into the ovule, then this tube nucleus get degenerates, and another one, that the generative nucleus, it develops or it divides into two sperm nuclei. One sperm nuclei fuses with the egg cell and the second one fuses with the polar nuclei, which has two nuclei inside. Okay, so that the central cell which has two polar nuclei. So this is the summary of the previous video lesson. And now let us find out about double fertilization. So what is a double fertilization? It means when there is a two sets of fertilization. uh, as you know that there are two fertilization takes place simultaneously in the embryo sac. Okay, the first one with the egg cell as you know it. Okay, and the second sperm nuclei fuses with the polar nuclei. Polar nuclei, where it is present? It is present at the center, a large central cell. So when there are two fusion takes place, then we can say it is double fertilization. Very simple. Okay, and when the male gamete, you can see here that when the male gamete fuses with the egg cell, then it forms zygote. And when another male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, then it forms endosperm nucleus. In the picture, this is very much clear. You can see that the first one here, antipodal cells are there, and that polar nuclei, and the next cells and synergids. So here that this sperm cells first fuses with the egg cell and then second fuses with the central cell. Okay, and form zygote and endosperm nucleus. So this is why it is called double fertilization. I think it is clear to you because the fertilization or the fusion takes place two times with different nucleus. Then triple fusion and result of double fertilization. So actually after double fertilization or during double fertilization, triple fusion takes place. How it is? As you know that there is the second male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei. Okay, when it fuses with the polar nuclei, you know that there are two nuclei in the polar cells. Okay, and in this polar cells, or we can say that central cell, which has two nuclei, and one nuclei is from the sperm cells. Okay, so how many nucleus are formed? Three. Okay, so this form 3n, one for one nucleus, second for second nucleus 2n, and 3n for male gamete. Okay, so when all these three together form, then they form 3n, and this 3n is called endosperm. Male gamete plus polar nucleus equals to endosperm nucleus. Okay, and which has three nucleus inside. Okay, one cell carry three nucleus. Okay, and which further, this is actually endosperm nucleus, and when it undergoes development, then it forms endosperm, or we can say a tissue which makes endosperm. And endosperm is very important. I'll tell you how. Then so this is about triple fusion. You got the meaning of triple fusion because three ends are there. The result of double fertilization. As you know that male gamete, the first male gamete fuses with the egg cell. So it forms zygote, and zygote which undergoes development and forms embryo. Embryo of the seed, which is very, very important because for further development, this embryo develops into root and shoot. Okay, and the second one is that after triple fusion, then endosperm is formed. It is a result of double fusion, double fertilization and triple fusion. So it is very important. Why it is so? Because it provides nourishment to the developing embryo. At the time of germination, it needs nourishment because it does not have that leaves. As you know that the leaves are the manufacturing part of the plant. But here, before the leaves formation, something should required for the embryo, that so that it can take nourishment from it. Okay, so that is endosperm. Here in this picture, you can see that these are degenerating synergids. Okay, this is the micropylori on the first, yes, on the top of it. You can see the degenerating synergids. Synergids role is actually that it is protective and also it is nutritive. Okay, and after providing nutrient nourishment or nutrition to the embryo sac, then its role over after fertilization. Then here you can see that this is endosperm nucleus, and the nearby cells, we can say that it forms endosperm tissue, primary endosperm cell, we can say. And here that antipodal cells. So antipodal cells, actually these are nutritive in function, and this synergid cells are actually guide the pollen tube. Okay, so this is actually the function of synergids, that to guide the pollen tube to go into the embryo sac. And the function of antipodal cells is that is to provide nutrition to the embryo sac. Okay, and this also gets degenerated after fertilization. The next one is that fruits and its part. I think students, you know about different parts of the plant, and even you can define also, like leaves, like roots, like shoots, like flower also. From class 6, you're reading about the different parts. Now, you should know the definition of fruits also. That fruits are what? That they are after fertilization, as you know, that after fertilization, that ovary develops into fruit. But this ovary is right now, it is a mature and ripened ovary. Okay, and it is after fertilization, we can say. So a fruit is a mature or ripened ovary which contains seed inside. Okay, and a fruit consists of two parts. There are two parts in the fruit, and these are seeds and pericarp. Okay, so that seed, you know that the ovule, actually that the ovule is forms seed after fertilization, and above part, that is called ovary, which forms fruit. Okay, and a number of vegetables that we eat, like tomato, brinjal, lady's finger, and cucumber, that contain seeds, are actually fruits in the true botanical sense. So all these are, we consider them as a vegetable, but they are actually fruits. And pericarp itself is a, it consists of three parts, like epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. I'll explain it. Just see this picture. Seed. Okay, so that, yeah, the central portion, that is actually seed, and around which there is a pericarp. But pericarp is not only like one part. Okay, it also has different parts. So let us see in the next picture. Here you can see that as pericarp is divided into epi, meso, and endocarp. So epi means the outer structure. Meso, it means the middle structure, and endo, it means the internal structure or inner part of the fruit. So as the outer part of the fruit is called epicarp, and it is actually outer skin. Okay, and the second one, which is a fleshy part of the, or intermediate part, or the middle part, this is fleshy, and that is called mesocarp. And the third one, that forms the innermost hard region that encloses the seed. Okay, here you can see this. So it encloses this hard part which encloses the seed. This is called endocarp, and together all these three, these are called pericarp. Okay, is it clear to you? I think it is. Then the next thing, that fruits are can be divided into three categories. There are different types of fruits, like true fruits, false fruits, and parthenocarpic fruit. Students, you never think about that the fruits can be true or false. But let us find it out how. True fruits. So true fruits, like what we have discussed, that it has endo, meso, and epicarp. So this type of fruits are called true fruits. Okay, example is mango here. You can see that endocarp, mesocarp, and epicarp is there, and seed is inside. So this is a example of true fruit. Then the second category is false fruit. So false fruit is what? That the fruit which in which the pulpy edible portion is not the wall of ovary but a floral part like thalamus. It means like except the ovary. If the fruit is developed from any other part of the flower, then we can say that it is a false fruit. So it means that the fruit is not developed from the ovary. It means that for that fertilization is not necessary. So maybe, but yes, the false fruit is what? That which is not developed from the ovary. Keep this thing in mind. Sometimes this comes in examination also. So example is apple and parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit, as you know, that ovary is that the fruit is what? That the after fertilization that ovary develops into fruit. But here there is no fertilization. It means the fruits without undergo fertilization. The fruits develop without fertilization. Okay, that is called parthenocarpic fruit. Such a fruit is generally seedless and has non-viable seeds. Yeah, so it means either they have non-viable seeds or they are without seeds. And nowadays, actually, varieties of bananas, grapes, oranges, and watermelons are being cultivated by spraying the flowers with growth promoting hormones like gibberellins, which induce the development of fruits without fertilization. So, for commercial value, different fruits are grown. Okay, and these are called parthenocarpic fruit. So here you can see the example of watermelon. Watermelon, there are so many seeds there, but if you get the watermelon without seeds, so you'll be happy. So this is the example, and we can say that this is a parthenocarpic fruit. Okay, and here you can, this apple you are seeing, this is actually that it is developed from thalamus. Okay, thalamus, do you remember what is it? It is a portion, we can say that receptacle which on which all the floral axis, floral region lie. Okay, so this is the by which the apple or that fruit is developed, and it is an example of false fruits. Okay, so now the next one is seed. Seed is what? A seed is a ripened ovule, or we can say it is a matured fertilized ovule. It is happen, or it forms when the ovule is fertilized. It means the sperm cells fuse with the egg cell. Okay, then only seed is formed, and it contains an embryo that develops into a new plant. As the seed, after that fusion of male and female gamete, it means the egg cell and the sperm cell, then what has happened? That an embryo is formed. Okay, and this embryo, uh, we can say that zygote is formed, and zygote is converted into embryo after some development. And this after this development of embryo, if the germination, that favorable conditions are there, then it develops into a new plant. And seed always having a seed coat, and this is really important. Why? Because that it favors the embryo, or it protects the embryo from any external damages, or we can say that from any unfavorable conditions. Unfavorable conditions, it means it may be heat, it may be cold, it may be like different biological agents like microorganisms also. So by all these things, by all these agents, or we can say that unfavorable conditions, the seed is protected by seed coat. Okay, so here you can see this picture, embryo inside which develops into that root and shoot. Okay, or which we can say that develops into a baby plant. And here that you can see store food for embryo or baby plant. Okay, So what is it? This is endosperm, and this is really, really important. And over this, seed coat is there, which protects the seed. So this is about seed. Now let us see the significance of fruit. Oh, you can see this a very beautiful picture. Now you feel hungry right now. Actually, I also, you can tell your mama to make fruit chat. Okay, jokes apart. Um, so significance of fruit, yes, it protects the seed, and you know that this inside the seed there is embryo. So the first function of seed is to protect the seeds from unfavorable climatic condition, and the second one is that fruits are the source of energy. Source of energy, yes, for us also, and for different for animals also in forest, especially in forest area. So the fleshy edible part of a fruit in the is the food of the animals. And the third one is that source of chemicals, yes, that the fruits are source of chemicals like sugars, different sugars like glucose, fructose, or vitamins or minerals. All these chemicals are there in the fruits, so we can say that it is a source of chemical. And help in the dispersal of seeds, yes, because when we carry the fruits with us, okay, and we when we throw its seeds, so it means that, and if the seeds getting if the seeds will get all the favorable condition, like when we throw it somewhere else, and if the soil is there and all favorable condition for germination of seeds are there, then it can develop into a plant. Okay, so the seeds are what, that it is a, it helps in the dispersal of, that the fruits help in the dispersal of seeds. Okay, so these are the significance of fruits. And the last one is significance of seeds. So yes, the seeds are important. Why it is so? Because seeds are having embryo. Okay, it has a baby plant inside, so it has tiny shoot and tiny root there. Okay, and the third one is that contains food material for the growing embryo. So it has endosperm, sometimes it has cotyledon also. So both are working as a for that to provide nutrients. And the last one is that seed coat. So a seed is covered by the hard seed coat that protects the embryo inside. Because of this, the embryo inside can withstand unfavorable environment condition of like temperature, light, and water. So these are the functions, or we can say the significance of seeds. You can see here in the picture that this is the endosperm, that blackish, that round structures. These are actually endosperm, which are which is nutritive. And here that embryo, which further when getting proper favorable condition, then it will develop into plumule and radicle. Plumule and radicle are actually shoot and roots. And this is the cotyledon, and at the last you can see integuments. Integuments are actually become the seed coat of a seed. Okay, I hope you understood this. So before saying have a nice day, look at the picture and now find it out that which type of fruit it is. Is it true, false, or parthenocarpic? Okay, just find it out. I think you are giving me answer, but I am not disclosing the answer. Okay, so have a nice day. Keep studying. Bye bye. Take care.